Hi, it's Dan again from the Orange Line Living team at Optime Realty, which is also home to the Carrie Scholl team. In today's Ask the Agent segment, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to own your home for cheaper than renting. A lot of people have been asking about that. It's a great question. In a recent survey that came out from Trulia, they compared the cost of owning versus the cost of renting. And it's good news for people in our area looking to buy that are now renting. In the DC region as a whole, it's about 33% cheaper to own than to rent. Now, if you're living in the city itself of DC and not the surrounding areas, it's actually 59% cheaper to own. So big incentive to own for everyone in our area, typically, even more so if you're in Washington, D.C. proper. So why is it cheaper to own right now than renting in our area? Well, interest rates are low. They're near historic lows. They're not quite, the cheapest they've ever been. That was a few years ago, but they're still hovering close to those historic lows, right around 4% or so for a 30-year money, less for ARMs. So there's some great mortgages out there with low products. A lot of the typical renters and buyers in the DC area are in some of the higher income tax brackets, so you're more likely to itemize your deductions in this area, just because we have such a strong economy. So if you're more likely to itemize, you get to take advantage of some big deductions. The mortgage interest is deductible, so when you're making house payments, typically the way loans are structured, the lion's share of the payment is going towards interest the first few years, and that's all tax deductible. Real estate taxes are tax deductible as well. So, you might be paying $2,000, even $3,000 or more in your monthly mortgage checks, but in reality, that might be equivalent to a $2,500 or $2,000 payment when you factor in your tax deductions. So those two factors really are what's driving it from the owner side. And on the rent side, supply is typically low. Demand is high, because our unemployment is so great. So rents have continued to increase 2, 3, 4% or more a year. So if you're renting, you can expect your rent to go up every year. If you buy, you're locking in the price of most of the items. Of course, your real estate tax and perhaps condo fee or HOA fees can go up every year, but that's a very small portion of the total payment. The price you pay is locked in. Your mortgage is typically locked, so when you're renting, you can expect the payment to go up a lot compared to when you own. So if you are finding yourself in that debate, do I rent, do I own, run the numbers yourself or talk to us or an accountant, get some good advice there. Most people are going to find that in this area, it's cheaper to own than to rent. So how do you do it? Well, the first step in if it's going to be cheaper to own is talk to a good real estate agent, good lender, figure out what types of loans you qualify for, what kind of down payments you might need. So there are a ton of options out there for first-time home buyers where you may not need a big down payment. If you're married to a veteran or were a veteran, you can get VA financing for 0% down. There are also low down payment options available through FHA and other programs where you might be able to get into a great home for only 3.5% down and have an overall payment that is cheaper than what your rent is. There's also some specific to this area first-time homebuyer programs where you can get the home of your dreams for 0% down, so no money up front, and you're actually saving money over time and building up equity while those around you that are renting are continuing to pay more and more and losing out on the chance to build up equity. So I know we kind of covered a lot, and there's a lot more to the subject. If you've got any questions, I'd love to help you. So contact us or sign up for one of our homebuyer seminars. We do them, several of them a month. And as always, if you have other questions for us to answer, we'd love to get to it in our next Ask the Agent segment. Thanks a lot and have a great day.